this iPhone. Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? It is a little bit crazy around this casa. I'm just gonna tell ya. We are having a little bit of a refrigerator issue. And but hey, look, we are horizontal. Yay! So, let's see. What's new since I last talked to you? Is anybody here? Yes, 3 people are here. Yay. So let's see. What can I tell you? Well, we're having some kind of an issue with our freezer. So that's never good, right? And, I had a little bit of a weird health situation this week, and I struggled with whether I should talk about it or not. But you know, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, yes, because everybody should take their health seriously. And I know, aren't you so happy? I'm just going to tell you, even though I'm a very private person, I just feel the need to share this as a girl to other girls. On Sunday, I found a lump and freaked out, as you can imagine. Called my doctor on Monday and was able to get in on Tuesday. Went into my doctor and she examined it and wrote me up a referral for mammogram and what's the word? Ultrasound. So I had to go next door to make the appointment. So I went next door and they said, we have an appointment tomorrow at 7 a.m. And I said, oh gosh, I have my flu shot appointment tomorrow at 7 a.m. And then they said, the next available appointment is in October. And so I said, I'll take it. I can get my flu shot any old time. So anyway, I went yesterday and had my mammogram and my ultrasound. You know, now they do them one right after another. And it's so much better because this happened to me years ago, and you know, there were like weeks in between every step, and it was just torture. Anyway, and then right after the ultrasound, they said the doctor will be in about 10 to 15 minutes, and I was like, oh, okay. And so the doctor read through the mammogram pictures and the ultrasound pictures and came in and said that, and no kidding, it was like 15 minutes, and said that it was either some kind of trauma, which who knows what that is, or a cluster of cysts. But I'm just here to tell you, gosh, get your mammogram. I had skipped last year, and I will never do that again because that's so dang scary. Anyway, I need to go back in 6 months for them to check it all out again, and they said that it would that if it's they said that I could have bumped myself somehow or whatever. You know, I'm a really clumsy person, so that's completely within the realm of possibility. And if it was the trauma, it will have dissipated in 6 months. If it was the cluster of cysts, it will probably still be the same in 6 months. So all that to tell you that, holy tamale, it has been a harrowing couple of days, but I am breathing a huge sigh of relief today. So, golly, oh gee, be sure to, I know it's unpleasant, but go get those boobs squished, girls. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Today, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to try anything new. I'm just going to paint. That's what I tell you girls to do. That's what I'm doing. Do we have anyone new here today? Let's see. I know Keels. I'm so happy that I figured out the stinking horizontal thing. Tana, you look like you're new here. So if you are new here, please follow and like me at Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Every Tuesday and Thursday we have pop-in paint parties where we paint my art printables in who knows all different ways. And then on Saturdays we have Let's Get Artsy Together Apart, and that is a class where we just do a little bit of art journaling, a little bit of art history, a little bit of color theory. We just have ourselves a time, don't we, girls? Anyway, and here's the thing, both of my classes are free. So be sure to, like I said, follow me at Corbiere-Scott Designs, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. My art printables are available at www.corbiere-scottdesigns.com. And if you want to email me, Corbiere-Scott-Designs at gmail.com. It is hard to go through, Nancy. It is. But you know, people have been through, my dad always tells me, there's always somebody who has it worse than you. So, and that is the ding-dang truth, isn't it? So today, let's just paint, right? Let's just paint. So I have a couple of different paint. This is how Jeff, every single day, he goes on a little trip to QT, and every day he goes, do you want something? I say, no. I mean, what do I need, really, right? But today I said, you know what? I want a regular Coke. And if any of you know me, you know that I am the queen of Diet Coke. But today I was like, yay, I just need some sugar. You know what? He tells me how right he is all the time. He says, why do you doubt your old pops? He's a funny guy. So I had a couple of ideas. I have a couple of ideas of stuff that I was thinking about. So I'm sure you remember me talking about handmade watercolors. So I have a bunch of different handmade watercolors. These are from a company called Hydrocolor. And I swear, I wish you could smell them because they smell like clove. They smell so good. And these are from a company called Hydrocolor. So Hydrocolor, most of their paints are shimmery or glittery, which is kind of really not me. But the colors are so pretty, I can't resist. I can't help myself. So, but I will tell you, the one thing that I did learn about these kind of paints is they need to be kind of like, you need to kind of give them a little jump start. So you're going to give them a jump start of water. So I'm just going to put a drop on each of the greens because I thought it might be kind of cool to do all of the greens. Like do these kind of all of these different heart cactus green. Do you know what I mean? In shimmery greens. I thought that might be kind of cool. But what I thought, because these are so shimmery, I think I'm going to start them with a base of regular watercolor. Right, so flip that around. So I'm going to put some water on there. So I will say that handmade watercolors, I think it's like technically it's called re-wetting. But handmade watercolors, I think they need to be wet and then just sit there for a little bit, and then we can go on to, then you can paint. So I'm going to start doing a base of green from my watercolors that I use all day, my little workhorse watercolors, my Primas Classics. And I like this green because it's kind of a limey kind of green, kind of a light green. So it's not gonna really compete with other things, I don't think. It's kind of in my wheelhouse. But I'm just going to kind of start each heart with a base of color. You know how I do. So how is everyone doing today? Everyone? Anyone? It is hot here again. We're getting hot again. It is, I think it's supposed to be 106 today. I think. Hey Carmen, last night, and no kidding, I saw something about conquistadors and I just started to die laughing. Then I thought, I can't even no context to you. You'd be like, yeah, that's so funny. But I just know that I giggled out loud about it. Hey Lance, how are you today? And do you see that I am horizontal? Oh, dental surgery. Oh, gosh. Oh, Nance, sorry. I did get my flu shot today, and they said it would make me a little bit sleepy, which feels like kind of my modus operandi these days. But it did a little bit, but not as bad as I had anticipated. So it's just been hopping around here, always something, isn't there? And I told you, somebody's always got it worse than you, which is true. That's for sure. I'm telling you right now, growing up, we were a family who talked about doing nice things for others. Do you know what I mean? My parents that was just who we are, right? But I will tell you that now I'm so proud that my parents set that example of, now I know that's having a servant's heart. Back then I didn't, I was like, oh, my mom was the executive director of the Volunteer Action Center of Bay City, Michigan. And so, oh my gosh, we got roped into all kinds of tasks, as you can imagine. My brother was a clown in a parade, and he was on stilts, and he was what do I want to say? Oh my gosh, he just and he did it with a smile on his face. Okay, I'm going to come in with sour apple. I think that's a pretty, look at that shimmer. Isn't that pretty on top of that green? It's kind of the same color, but I'm glad that I have that base, because I find these shimmery paints don't really, I feel like that you can see white through them a lot, and so I feel like sometimes they need a base. So let's see how this works. I was the biggest one I remember is I had to dress up as Raggedy Ann and greet Santa Claus at the mall when he landed in a helicopter. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. So let's get that off of there. It's a lot. Remember that your brush can kind of be like it can kind of soak up like a mop, sort of, right? Kind of hating that. Oh well. Hi, Joe Davis. How are you today? If you haven't already, please DM me your email so I can send you notes about what's going on in the world of Ann Corbiere-Scott designs. Ooh, I'm liking that better. Remember, we're going to do all the places that are dark. And I'm doing this on watercolor paper, so I have a little more wiggle room this time. This one, what is that color? Let's see. It is Alkium. So, oh gosh, Nance, I'm so sorry you had dental surgery. That's so miserable, isn't it? Ugh. Ick, ick. So sorry. Hey, Kim. How are you? So I'm going just to deepen that all a little bit. Anybody watching anything good? Reading anything good? I'm kind of ready for something light, easy breezy, lemon squeezy, you know? That's for sure. I have, remember at the beginning of October, at the end of September, the beginning of October, my dates might be a little bit, as I'm going to be traveling a little bit, so I'll still come on. I just don't know exactly when and exactly where I'll be, and so just kind of keep on the lookout for that. Hi, Christine. How are you today? Good, I hope. Well, gosh, we're making art. Life can't be much better than that. So now I'm just wetting my brush, coming back in, working that jiggy jiggy, pat pat pat, dab dab dab. Just kind of breaking up that edge, smoothing it out. I need a new show too. Although, Jeff and I've started to watch a lot of old movies that we didn't watch the first time around. So last night we watched 50 First Dates. I had never seen that. And it was so good. And it was just kind of just what we needed. It was just kind of sweet and nice. Just nice. Hey, Jamie. Just enjoying my regular Coke. Okay, I'm going to take some more of this up. So I was gonna. Oh, what's it called? Transplant. Oh yes, I did see that. It's like a regular show, isn't it? Like a. Oh my gosh, that looks good. Hi, Jane. How are you today? Did it start yet, Nancy? Or is it coming like next Tuesday or something? I mean, it's kind of that time of year, isn't it, for things to start? But I don't know. Like, were they able to? Were they able to shoot enough of them that they can have like kind of a season? I don't know. Because it feels like we've kind of exhausted everything else, doesn't it? We've kind of watched all there is to watch. Although we have started to watch, we like to watch a lot of like foreign cooking shows. Like we started to watch this taco show on Netflix. Oh, so I could watch it on demand, Nance. Two or three. Oh, that makes me so happy. All right. So I'm feeling like. So I saw this technique that I was thinking about. My head's all over the place today, so just bear with me, girls. I saw this technique. So this is Post-it tape. So I saw this technique where they kind of, they did like a kind of a gradation. So they put like this. They did a barrier, and then they moved it down and did another. So they did like a color, and then they moved it, and then a color, and then, so I was like, let's try that. But I'm feeling like I want to do like the cactus just green and the background a color, some colors maybe or something. Got any ideas? Got any ideas, girls? I just thought it seemed like something fun to try while we let that dry. So we could start with like kind of a pale pink. But let's, remember we can overshoot this because we're going to die cut the edges, right? I mean, aren't you always just on the lookout for, you know, to apply paint or use paint or things? I don't know. I'm just always on the lookout for that kind of thing. Okay, so I have pretty light coat of pink, which I think I would really like to deepen. But like I said, I really want to keep my cactus green. So I'm going to get some more. At the very bottom, that's about the same, isn't it? So I'm thinking pink, red, orange, yellow. Pink. Then maybe I could do kind of pinkish red, then orange, then yellow. And the yellow, I think I would really like to do kind of that orangey yellow that I kind of mix up all the time. So I think I'm going to do that here. But like I said, I just want to do like kind of a base of color and then come back and deepen those up. how are you today? Are you still making cards like crazy? Are you done with your Christmas cards? Right. So let's see. So this, let's see. So this, maybe we do this center band, like orange. And then we do this one orangey red and this one orangey yellow. I don't know. Just seems kind of fun. We'll see. I don't think it doesn't matter, right? It's my artwork. It's my card that I'm making. And if it looks terrible, we'll do what we always do. Start over. But for the most part, we can make it work, right? I'm gonna make that orange. Then I'm gonna come back up here with the pink and really deepen the pink up here. Ooh, that's really pink, isn't it? So is anybody painting with me today, or are you all just watching and listening to me sit and talk to myself in the kitchen? I hope that everybody is doing fine and finding some time every day to paint a little. I'm excited to share this week's artist with you on Saturday. You just need to bring that artsy arsenal and whatever substrate you're working with. If you're working in a composition book or an art journal or a sheet of paper, whatever. I just love I'm loving everybody's Grandma Moses paintings, that's for sure. They're lovely. I love all of the creativity and I just love how free everybody's being with it all. It just makes me so happy, right? That's what we should be doing. We should be just expressing ourselves creatively as much as we can, right? That yellow, look how pretty that is. Oh, I'm just loving it. Okay, orange. Yes, you are painting with me, Keels. You usually always are. All right. Let those dry. Wrinkly here. Let's see. I'm liking this one that's kind of Don't you, Nancy, that is, can I tell you, that is, I think, one of my favorite things. That everybody, you know, we all kind of start from the same spot, right? But then we just grow it and grow it and grow it, and it turns into our own interpretation of, you know, I just love that. And I love that nobody tries to do the exactly what I'm doing or exactly what Grandma Moses did. You're just getting inspired by her style, right? And then it just, like, once you start, I think that's it, right? You just have to start, and as you paint along, holy smokes, it just blossoms out of you, right? And what could be better than that? Not much, I say. Not much. Mm-hmm. You can't listen to me hum because remember I can't have the radio on. I don't want to get kicked off. But music and art just go hand. I think they do. That's for sure. And can I tell you, I love that these mixing the two kinds of paint is so cool because it's really there's just a little bit of shimmer in the base of paint. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of cool. Digging that. Remember, if these get really wrinkly with, you can always, hey Barbara, you can always, once they're all the way dry, put them between a couple books. I mean, you could iron them on the back side, certainly, like put down on a piece of paper towel, but 2 books overnight should do the trick. That's for sure. It does. I'm kind of digging it too, Nance. I'm kind of digging it. But I feel like I'm ready to add a little bit of complementary color, add a little deeper greens. You know what I mean? So remember we talked about you can take the green, and opposite of green on the is red, right? But because this green is so light, I'm going to take a little bit of red and add it in there. And we're just going to get a deeper shade. Do you see it? I know it kind of looks like mud, but do you see that we're getting a nice deeper version of, right? So we can take that green. Do you see how it's almost kind of an olivey green, right? Which is kind of the deeper shade of this kind of springy kind of green. So let's do a little bit of that here because we want our heart to kind of be like come from the center and come out, or at least give the appearance of that. Then we're going to take some more of this deeper green, come into the dark spots, right? And then let's go here because remember this heart is on top of this heart, so it's going to be deeper under here. The underneath heart is going to be a little bit, it's going to have the shadows and the darkness, right? And remember, sometimes it can be as little as this, like just a little line, right? here. Remember, we can add color. Hi, Becky. We can add color and then we can pounce it out, right? Just add little bits of color. Has anybody watched Drew Barrymore's new show in the daytime? I have not. I have taped it because I thought, holy smokes, I just want something fun and light to watch, you know? And she's a pretty fun girl. That's for sure. Hi, Annalisa. All right, so we're gonna let that dry. Dry my brush, rinse it off. Then I'm gonna come in here and soften, right, with that jiggy jaggy. Pull some of that color off. Clean my brush. Come in and soften those lines. And remember, we talked about if you look this one, look at the curve. We have this beautiful curve to follow, so we can just push this color up toward that curve, and then back forth, right? Because that curve is going to be deeper, right? And we can turn our paper and pull that color down the length of the heart, but just gently. I just love that trick of just adding a little bit of the complementary color, the opposite on the color wheel color, to whatever color you're. So if it was purple, if it was yellow, you'd add a little bit of purple, like just a little bit. But that will create a deeper shade of the color that you're working with. And look at that. So pretty. Oh, I just love it. Don't you love when things just kind of come together? Oh, there's nothing better. I don't think. Does anybody have any questions? Kind of running out of topics. Ask me something. Tell me something. Tell me a story. I'm going to lighten this one. Is everyone, so Midwest girls, how are your gardens? Are they still bearing fruit? Are you still producing vegetables and the like? Or is it starting to dwindle down? I just love this is so funny. My cousin just had this whole we all grew up in Michigan or Ohio, but for the most part Michigan or Ontario. Anyway, she had this whole thread about tomato sandwiches on white bread and who remembered it and who. So I had some cousins who were like, only if it's toasted. Some people were like, only on white bread with mayonnaise. Oh my gosh, there's just nothing like a tomato sandwich, is there? In the middle of summer when it's so hot and the tomatoes are right off the vine. Oh, so delicious. I got something on me. Okay, so let's come over here. Lighten this a little bit. Drag that out. How is everyone today? Good? I hope that everybody's having a great day. I saw this, there's this girl that I follow on Instagram, and one of her mantras that she says a lot is that, you know, even if you're having a bad day, that doesn't give you the right to ruin anybody else's day. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Oh my gosh, Jamie, I'll be right over. We could just sit there and eat them like apples. Then we could paint a picture. Then we can eat some more tomatoes. Keels, do you guys still have tomatoes? Can I tell you, every time I deepen a shade like this, every time that I soften the edges of a deeper shade, and I go away and I look at it again, stop. It's like magic to me. I just love it. I just love it. So pretty. All right. So now, how are we doing on time? Yee. Okay, so now let's peel up this tape, right? And now I'm going to put this tape down on the pink, right? Then I'm going to pick this one up. And let's put it down on this side of the orange. So it looks like we're going to have to do one and then come back and do the other, right? So let's, we had pink, let's do kind of a pinky red hybrids of sorts. So let's take some pink and some red. And then we're gonna have to, this one we're gonna have to be kind of careful because we have lots of cactus that we're painting around. And we need to kind of push down our tape. Although if we get some bleed through, that's not the end of the world. We can always come back and we can come back and kind of blend those two, like whatever the colors are that one bleeds in. We can come back and blend them instead of having a solid stripe of one color and then the next we can have them blend into each other, which would be cool too. I just wanted to try a little experiment today, see what happens. Right, so let's let that sit. Rinse our brush. All right, so now let's talk about adding some pinks up into these cactus, right? So let's take our big brush. Do I still have green in there? No, we're good. We're going to take some of this pink, find a clean spot somewhere right here on the craft mat. And we're going to add some more water. And then I'm going to dry my brush off. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to just add bits of pink. Just kind of tap it in, right? Just let it sit. Here, I'm going to do inside of there, inside of there, here, here, there, right? And then let's play with some pink kind of here, here, just above that spot right there, here. Touch in some of these spots, because remember, once we have it down, we can also tap it out and let it sit there for a minute, and then we can kind of tap it out, so then there's just like a hint of pink. That's what I like to do. Okay, so now I'm going to clean my brush. Now let's come back to this one. This is going to be a little bit harder, I think, because I have that sparkly green on there. So we might have to work it in a different way, right? So we're just going to do the tap, 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 jiggy, jaggy, and then we can take some of that, like the straight green, tap off your brush, take a little bit of that, perfect, perfect, perfect. We just want that little bit of a hint of pink. How are we doing on time? Am I doing all right? So I'm tapping this out with some of that green, but like barely. See, like just barely. Oh, I will, Jamie, for sure. For sure, for sure. I would love that. We'll just while away the hours, right? Remember, your paper's not glued down, so you can move it and get yourself a better angle. If it's feeling awkward, get yourself a better angle. Your hand should be as comfortable. I don't know. What do you think, Nance? I don't know. I'm feeling like pink, but now I don't know because I don't know. I will say that one of the girls who's, Charmaine, who is guest designing for me for the month of September, she did this card that she used texture paste in the background, and so I think she like put some texture paste down and then she let that dry and then she kind of painted it. And when she did that, Tessa and I had a conversation, Tessa who's on my design team, we had a conversation about recreating that and creating like kind of she did it on the Carmen art printable, the poinsettias, but we were thinking like how cool would it be to kind of recreate like a stucco wall, right? So that's certainly an idea. Blue or yellow, they would be pretty. You're right, Nancy. I'm kind of digging that, just that hint of, hey Carrie, how are you? Are you still in Nevada? I'm loving that, just that little hint of pink is showing through. I'm loving that. And then I can soften those edges of that green. Here too. Oh, here. Oh, here. Okay, so now let's see how we do. We got 53 minutes. We got a couple minutes left. Okay, so now I'm gonna peel up this. See, we did go into the orange, but remember, we can fix that. So we're gonna cover up the yellow down here, and we're gonna do kind of an orangey yellow, remember? So we're going to do more orangey than the yellow that we had done originally because that was pretty, I had kind of already made that kind of an orangey yellow, so we want this one to be more orangey. And I think that's good. So I'm going to have to be really careful on this one. Push that down. Because I want to I don't want to stick tape down there. I'm afraid that I'm gonna, because that's just slightly wet right there on that little bit of red. So we'll just so I won't be able to show you the green painted cactus because I've got to wait for all of this to dry, but come on, isn't that pretty? Don't you? I just think that's so pretty, right? So I'm feeling like wash my brush and tap it out and then just kind of blend right here. Blend it out. So one just kind of melts into the other. Right? Digging that. Okay, I think I'm going to let that all dry, and I'll try to finish this up and post it later so you can see. How are we doing on time? 56 minutes. Well, I think it's probably time to bid adieu. So I'm going to peel up this tape. That's still pretty close, isn't it? So maybe I need to make that a little oranger. And let's try this one. Let's see what we got. Here we go. So pretty! Oh, I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. So, I mean, think about the possibilities, right? You could do a sunset, you could do a sunrise, you could do, I don't know, colors of the Arizona flag, you could do all kinds of things. You could do, you know, just think of the possibilities. So fun. Well, I hope that everyone was inspired to try a new painting technique today. That, you know, there's always something new to try. There's always and that it's okay to like paint and walk away and come back, because remember, if we're using water soluble materials, water soluble mediums, no matter how long it's been sitting, it will still be reactivated with water. And so if there's something that you don't like, you can just come in with a wet brush and you can soften that edge again, right? Hi, Linda. How are you today? Ready to sign off, but I hope that you will watch, and you can always watch me on the replay. So if you could like and follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Corbiere-Scott Designs, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you would, anyone who's new here, DM me your email, so then you'll be on my newsletter distribution list, and then we will be in touch with all the artsy things that are happening in my world and your world. I just need to let this sit. You know what? You know when it's time to just let it sit and move on to something else and then come back a little later. I think that's right where I am. I hope that everybody will join me on Saturday for Let's Get Artsy Together Apart. We will have ourselves a time, I promise. Bring your artsy arsenal and your whatever the substrate you want to work in is. If it's an art journal or if it's a notebook, paper, spiral notebook, composition book, piece of typing paper, copy paper, whatever you want it to be. I don't ever want anybody to feel like they can't create art with whatever they've got. I promise you, you can. I promise, promise, promise. Look for my email tomorrow night. So if you haven't sent me your email, please do so by tomorrow morning, because that's when I start to work on my newsletter to send out. I can't think of much more than that. I hope everybody has a grand Thursday, and I will see you for sure on Saturday. Bring your artsy arsenal, and let's have ourselves a time. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.